Welcome to Flashback Tracks. Travel back in time each Friday to an era of big hair, leg warmers, and Walkmans.
Far out.
Veg out with some clips from Downtime Broadcasting's promotional audio cassette magazine from the 80s and 90s, right here on the World Wide Web.
This month's feature report by Terry Dodd is entitled Development of Top 10 Accounts or Successfully Dating Dottie. Terry is an independent multi-line rep in the Southeast for Jamaica Cards, Quick Stick Decals, Benchmark Clocks, Glass America, JP Vinyl, and Punchline Specialties.
How to develop a top 10 account or successfully dating Dottie. Say your top 10 account list has one or two legitimate openings. All right, say it has 9 or 10, or whatever. At any rate, what your business persona wants right now is to deal with Dottie. You know Dottie. That's the affectionate term for the acronym DOTTA, D-O-T-T-A, Development of Top 10 Accounts, or otherwise referred to as moving an account up and into one of those mortgage payment contributing slots. Step 1. Make a date with Dottie. Or David, to keep this from being sexist and my getting letters about gender discrimination in specialty advertising. You see, to win Dottie, she naturally has to be wooed. And given the very great assumption that you have selected a proper prospect to begin with, one that possesses the real potential to match your own interests, you first need to arrange a few preliminary get-acquainted dates. 5 to be exact, since 80% of new account sales are not made until after the 5th call. Now get those out of the way early on so you can concentrate on the affair's more serious business. Actually, this courtship serves another important purpose as well. While you're learning about all the little peculiarities of Dottie, 75% of your competition will have given up on her after only 2 unsuccessful attempts to seduce her. What grand potential reward for those who would persevere. But making the correct move on Dottie early on is absolutely essential. You don't want to be seen as being too bold, or you might scare her off. Neither can you afford to be too inattentive. Remember, if she is so desirable in the first place, someone is sure to be hitting on her all the time anyway. And you can ill afford the conceited luxury of Dottie initiating the relationship while you are summoning up the courage to ask her to dance. Buy her dance card, Jack. Get yourself known. But be careful. Don't step on her toes. Dottie won't be judging your line, only the presenter. People buy from people, not from companies. There's plenty of time for that later on. Successfully dating Dottie does follow certain time-honored rules. 1. Presence. You've got to be there. Note this. More action is lost daily simply due to a lack of regular presence. 2. Prime. Ask questions. Take an interest in her. What's happening? What's coming up? What are her goals, her problems? In other words, get to know her. Now this is your second opportunity to impress Dottie. That's assuming you didn't show up wearing spats and a zoot suit. 3. Propose. Well, maybe not marriage, but at least a beginning to a possible, beautiful relationship. Sincerely present your thoughts on how you can make life more rewarding and more interesting for her, how your commitment can help with some of her problems and create new opportunities in the bargain, how your creativity should be obvious and your devotion will be proved in the process. But don't offer her your slavery. Remember, this is to be a mutually respectful arrangement. Dottie will only think less of you if you don't respect yourself. Most important of all, remember never to take her for granted. Always consider her just as beautiful as the day you first desired her, or you'll come home one day and find yourself odd man out, with the competition plying your top 10 account with your own forgotten tactics. This is Terry Dodd, and that's my report.
Travel back in time with us next Friday as we share more clips from the 80s and 90s on another rad episode of Flashback Tracks, exclusively on Promo Corner. Time to bounce.